Welcome back to the G and Ursula show. This is a conversation that we're going to continue from yesterday because after the Super Bowl, the one thing that I couldn't get out of my mind wasn't the game itself, but it was Travis Kelce's behavior on the sidelines when he had that screaming fit at his head coach, Andy Reid, and did that shove that was seen around the world and has been debated now for the past 48 hours. Coach Andy Reid says Travis Kelce privately apologized to him after that sidelines meltdown. And in case you missed it, again, I mean, he nearly knocked his 65-year-old coach off his feet, got right into his face, and was yelling expletives at him for not keeping him on the field. And on ESPN, Reid said, well, he came over and gave me a hug. He just wants to be on the field and he wants to play.
He wants to help his team win. I mean, it's not a selfish thing. That's not what it is. And I understand that. And so as much as, he bumps into me, I get after him. And we understand that. He just caught me off balance.
So both you and I were upset.
Yes.
But I think you were upset in different ways than I was.
Yes. Because for his part, Kelce joked, first of all, that he was just expressing his love for Andy Reid. Then he was trying to sing his coach's praises. But this is no joking matter. This goes beyond being in the heat of the moment. We asked Cliff Averill yesterday, former Seahawk, whether this was normal. Because I was like, is this something I just don't recognize? To me, it is a huge red flag. And anyone who has been in an abusive relationship knows that it cannot and should not be ignored.
Right.
And for our loyal listeners, you all know, and maybe you've rolled your eyes when I have talked about how invested I am in this relationship. And maybe yesterday I was trying to find some reason, like what kind of redeeming value is there? I even bet Mike Lewis, you know that, right? I bet that Travis and Taylor are going to be in this for the long haul. They're going to be married. And now my feeling is, if they're going to be married, they need to have some counseling. And I don't mean to be overly dramatic, but what happened on Sunday needs to be addressed publicly. Not in a joking manner, but whether he likes it or not, Travis is considered a role model. And that tantrum he showed was a lack of respect for his coach, a lack of authority, and did look abusive. I don't think he needs to be canceled, but in my opinion, he has an opportunity to turn this into a real teaching moment, and it's his to figure out.
Right. And Ursula, rightfully so. And I respect the fact that you were upset about that. I just want to tell you and express to all of you why I was upset. Now, what you are saying, no doubt about it. But the angle that I took, it triggered me. Because here's Travis Kelce yelling at his coach, according to what the experts are saying that are lip readers. Didn't he say something? Didn't he say the F word at his coach?
Are saying that, it included a few F words and basically said, I'm calmed down now, F you.
Push the coach and everything.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. So let me have you guys understand where I'm coming from. According to the Department of Education, last school year, about 15% of K through 12 public school students are black. But they made up 30% of the students that were suspended. Black preschoolers are 18% of enrolled students, but are 43% of the out-of-school suspensions. I've been to private school my whole life. My kids were in private school. What I saw in Travis Kelce pushing his head coach, yelling at him, and then, can you please play again what Andy Reid says about Travis Kelce? Play that.
He wants to help his team win. I mean, it's not a selfish thing. That's not what it is. And I understand that. And so, as much as, he bumps into me, I get after him. And we understand that. He just caught me off balance.
It's interesting that he says it's not a selfish thing. He just really wants his team to win. The same way Travis Kelce is able to get the passionate part, meanwhile in school across the country, this other kid has a bad attitude. This kid right here is passionate, and we have to work through this, but this kid gets a bad attitude. That is the problem that I have that is consistent across the board.
Well, and I think you bring up a great point, because I was thinking, if this were DK Metcalf and he did that to Coach Pete Carroll, what would our reaction be?
Oh, my goodness.
Will we say, oh, that's just passion?
Oh, my goodness.
And here's the thing, and you don't think that there is room for redemption, or I don't want to put words in your mouth, but no. I think that he could use this honestly as a thing to say, you know what, maybe that is the relationship we've had, that we've developed, our coach, but I understand why it is triggering. I understand that it went too far. I let my emotions go too far, and that is something I need to work on. And in fact, I think Travis Kelce has a reputation for being somewhat of a hothead.
I mean, Andy Reid has said that this has happened multiple times before. I mean, he's been kicked off teams for similar reasons. He has a long history of this. He's talked about how Andy Reid has been such a big help with his anger, right?
I know,
and Andy Reid says this is not a selfish thing. You're right, Andy. It's an anger thing. It is an anger, and I'll be vulnerable for a second. I'll tell you that I'm someone who has struggled with anger in my life. It's been difficult. It's caused a lot of problems for me, and it's caused problems for other. I don't want to see Travis Kelce be the face of redemption, but at the same time, I think we need some role models in this country for men on how to transform your attitude and how to deal with adversity. Because we have so many conversations about mental health, right? But what is one of the biggest problems that young men especially have? Unchecked anger.
Yes. Unchecked anger.
And I'd love to see a conversation about that.
What do you do with that? And not keep providing him excuses. This was the biggest game.
He's
blah,
had
blah, blah.
excuses his entire life,
Yes.
I guarantee.
And I think any therapist will tell you, and anyone who's been in an abusive relationship will tell you, there were flags. So you asked yesterday, are you worried for Taylor Swift? I'm worried if he doesn't actually address it. I would be worried.
About 5 years ago, right here, someone yelled at me. I yelled back. I was asked about my yelling. And to answer to your question, as far as Travis Kelce, he doesn't have to address this. It's
he does.
over. No, he doesn't. Nothing will happen to him. It's over.
Well, and I think and by the way, Coach Reid is complicit, and so is the NFL.
He doesn't have to. So that's why I said that he will not address this. The proper thing should have been done right away. Travis Kelce should have said, hey, whoa. I messed up. Kids, people that are watching me, I let you down. Let me do the work. But he doesn't have to, because Andy Reid, the head coach, said he's not selfish.
Yes, I understand him more than anybody.
Even though he shoved me in front of you, that's not what you saw, right? It's no different than the parents that are fighting in front of their kids, trying to tell your kids that's not what you saw, and then you wonder why the kids later on in life have to get therapy. Y'all don't hear me, though.